I think we're live, Adam.
Are we?
Yeah, but no one's watching, so that's okay. Where are we? Our channel. Share the link. There we go. Yes, mate. Alright. Oh, that drone guy's watching. That's Bailey. How are you, Bailey? Just getting the link into the break. Oh. Bailey, you ready for Friday night, mate? I hope you are. Copy. And here we've got Stanley online as well. Hey Stan. And we have, who else have we got? We've got the drone guy and Stan at the moment. Thanks Bailey, that's awesome news, mate.
We've got people on.
We have got people on, so I'm going to do an introduction now. We're looking at this camera here. We might need to just move that camera a little bit
More
to
that
your
way.
way.
This way?
No, toward that. This is professional, isn't it? Now go back to where it was. Just. Okay, now we're going to stop. There, I reckon that's better. We've got you in shot. You're the important one.
Yeah.
There we go. So, everyone who's coming to this break, thank you so much for coming on. We have with us today a really special guest, and it's someone that I met, about 12 months ago now?
Yeah,
maybe
right.
a bit less.
Yeah, a bit less.
And it is an absolute pleasure to have the former England one-day international captain of Surrey for 7 years. How many trophies?
Just the 9.
Just the 9. Nearly 10,000 first-class runs.
Yep.
And over 4,000 runs in list A one-day games. Is that right?
I think so.
400 wickets?
Something like that.
A lot of wickets.
I haven't checked on it recently.
So
483.
Oh, just give or take 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, you must be pretty happy being the former captain of the English white ball team to see the boys play so well this week.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They did well. I think it's all off of the back of the work that I did setting up that side about 25 years ago. No, it's they're an amazing white ball side at the moment. Just whether that be 50 overs or 20, they're probably leading the way. I mean, obviously the game's short, so it doesn't guarantee you winning everything, but they're putting themselves in the shot window. Really, they're putting themselves there or thereabouts. I think them and India and Australia are probably the 3 sides that you think are going to be in the semi-finals of most of those comps.
But when you, one thing that we've spoken about once before, because you captained England in the Sharjah Champions Trophy, and that was the first trophy England had won in 10 years, I think it was at that stage.
Well, I think it was the first one in 10 years, but it was the first one they'd ever won involving more than 3 teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think the first time England won a World Cup was 2009. Oh, actually, they won, I think, 2015, the T20.
The T20, yeah.
And they won that was a 50 over competition. It was the first time they'd ever won a 50 over competition involving more than 3 teams.
And how big was it for cricket in England when that happened?
It's not very big.
Not really?
Not very big, because it was a funny competition, because there was some television rights problems going on. It actually wasn't viewed back in
in
England.
the UK.
So I can't remember. I think it was Sony owned the rights, and I think Sky didn't buy them, or Sony were trying to charge too much. So that never got.
And did no one expect you to win? Maybe.
No one did. We didn't even send a proper team out. So
Oh, really?
I was captain by default because Michael Atherton was having a break leading into a tour of the West Indies. I mean, this just showed. This is pre. The teams being split up. They just played the Test side and the one day side was the same. So it was kind of after that tournament. I think England were the first people to actually have a one day team and a Test side.
Team,
So that was kind of, the Test boys didn't really want to go. They were trying to get ready for a tour of the West Indies, and they just sent a bunch of muppets, us out there, and no one. That's why I think the TV, they weren't expecting us to do any good.
And who did you beat?
We beat we beat Pakistan and India in the lead up to the final, and the West Indies. But then the final was, much to the TV people's disgust, was England West Indies.
Oh, really?
So I mean, everyone would have been thinking it'd be a Pakistan India.
Yep. And we would have had TV audiences in the billions then.
Oh, exactly. I think there was like in the stadium. I'm not sure how many it held. It's not a massive stadium, maybe 20, 30,000, something like that.
Yep.
And they were packed when we played the group games versus India and Pakistan, and then we played the West Indies, and I think it was literally the two squads, and a West Indian tourist and a couple of English tourists, and that was it. So much disappointment for the team.
But these are memories you've got forever, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole, you don't expect as a kid to end up. You dream about playing for.
Well, we know one person's going to ask the question you don't expect as a kid when you're living in Australia to captain England.
Yeah, well, exactly. It was like.
But how did that all happen?
Well, I sort of grew up in Ballarat, and my parents always travelled. My dad was an engineer, so his job took him all around the world. So it was when I was 12. Been living in Ballarat until then, and he got offered a job doing some. He was in the oil industry with, in the North Sea. So he moved to England, and at that age I wasn't. Despite everybody thinking I went to go and play for England because I wouldn't have been good enough to get into the Australian side. At the age of 12,
how did you know?
You hadn't even know I was going to play cricket. So I played AFL and all the sports, cricket. Yep. So just went.
Were you good at AFL?
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. I mean, I was okay I think most sports. I wasn't bad at.
Because you didn't stop at cricket either. Then you went into. Was it professional MMA?
Boxing first.
Boxing and then MMA. How many fights?
A lot of fights. Yeah. So there's 5 professional boxing fights and then a number of MMA fights. So it just kind of just evolved and it kept on going. I never set out to do that, but.
Are you just one of those people that's just good at everything? Sport-wise?
Well, definitely not good at schoolwork.
Well, that's why you turned to sport, maybe.
Yeah, I was all right. I was. I think people say, "Oh, you're one of those people that are good at everything." Well, I guess with sport, there's key things which are, I was fast and I was strong and coordinated. So that's kind of the backbone of most sports. So then after that, it's just being able to apply yourself and being disciplined. So. I always find it interesting when people say you're one of those people that are good at everything, because I think if you're intelligent, like if you're a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer, if you're intelligent, then you're intelligent. If you applied yourself to another skill, you'd probably be able to do that as well. Yeah. So it's not surprising, I don't think, when there's a lot of those skills are transferable across the sports. It's
kind of cool, and I know as a kid. I played cricket and I went and played down at Ballarat a fair few times. We'd go down there.
Sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, well,
cold.
I would have been in probably a grade lower than what you would have played, but because we were pretty much the same age, we were born only about a month apart. So, but I loved my sport at that time. Growing up in Victoria, it was that's what you did, isn't it? After school, it was if you're half good at any sport, that's what you did.
Well, that's as you know, growing up in Victoria, it's like. Everyone's sport mad down there. You only have to look at the crowds they get to
anything.
Anything. They could have like 2 cockroaches racing along the ground, and you get 100,000 people turning up. So
the Victorians are like that.
Yeah. So my family was just mad on sport. My brother went and played for England as well,
and you guys played in Test cricket together.
We made our Test debuts together. Yeah.
How cool is that?
Pretty cool. It's amazing now because.
Has it ever happened before?
I don't think it's ever happened where two brothers made their debut. I might be wrong there. I think there's been lots of cases of brothers playing it.
Yeah.
Sort of the Chapels,
The Chapels and the Wars, yeah. But to make their debut on the same day, I mean, you'd have to be twins to be in the same age group, or there's always going to be a couple of years age difference between
Well, there was
them.
like Mark Waugh and Steve Waugh were twins, and there was quite a big difference when they made their debut.
Well, didn't Steve Waugh get dropped for Mark Waugh to make his debut?
Is that right?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I've seen.
I wonder how the family dinner was there, eh?
I believe Mark Waugh got the call, and then he went to his family and said, "I've been selected. There's good news and bad news. I've been selected, but Steve's been dropped."
Is that right?
I've heard him say that at a sportsman's dinner, but that could be all rubbish. Do you guys make up stories at those sportsman lunches?
All the time. It's like, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like around the office sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to open up a couple of boxes of these traders. So I'll get you to open up a few packs and we'll go through them. But there's a few questions that I've got already given to me beforehand. So we'll get a few questions off to you and we can answer them as we're going.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll open up this first box and we'll get some. Now we've got 2 boxes of hobby. The teams are all on the left-hand side of the video there who you've got. And we'll get through these pretty quickly because Adam's got other work he's got to be doing, but we will get that done.
Okay, picking the kids up at school, mate.
Well, that's pretty important, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that there.
Jeez, there's a few.
There's a few, and there's 2 of them, mate. So we'll get through them pretty quick, though. So we're going to get Adam to open up the first lot. So
What's the best way of doing this?
probably from the middle of the pack.
Jesus, this is not making good
Here we go.
TV.
This is not good TV. So we go from the top, just pull back, and then it opens up. So
I see. In the middle.
yeah, like hitting one through the covers.
Oh, yeah.
Can do that.
Well, those.
So we'll just go through this
Who
one.
we got there? Got Maxie Bryant.
Maxie Bryant.
One of my boys I coach.
Yeah, Max, good innings yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't actually know, but he's a good player.
The thing about it last night was he closed the game off so well. I mean, he came in with Matty Renshaw, who's another one of your guys.
Yeah.
And they just closed off the game. So we go, look at that.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
There he is.
Adam knows how much I love the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then we've got a wicked wizard, Georgia Wareham,
No, I haven't met her, but
leg spinner for Australia.
yeah, right.
So that is the Australian women who. So basically, the middle 2 cards are the special cards here, Adam.
So this is one of the special ones.
This is one of the, and this is Dave Ritker. So Dave is our Sparky here at the local card shop, and we've got Ashton Agar.
Yeah.
So Ashton Agar.
Interesting fact about Ashton Agar
Yeah.
is when he made his debut at Trent Bridge in the Ashes,
Yep.
the first test of the whatever year that was, he was exactly the same age to the day as my brother was when he made his test debut at the same ground.
So that was the game when he and Phil Hughes put on the.
Yeah, that's right. They put on 100 for the last wicket, was
Yep.
it? And
So here's the second pack. We've got Kim Garth, who's a wicked wizard for the Stars.
yeah,
Were you in England at that time?
I wasn't. I was watching it back here.
Yeah.
But it was incredible synergy.
And Alex Carey.
Alex Carey.
He can play, can't he?
Yeah, so he can.
You know where I was when Ashton Agar was making those runs? I was driving from Melbourne to Brisbane. It was like 2 in the morning, and I stopped at the Grafton petrol station and convinced him to put on the TV so we could watch it.
Mate, that's incredible. Where were you at the time? Because I mean, I can tell you where I was when the space shuttle crashed, or when Princess Diana died.
Well, that just shows you how much I love my cricket.
Yes, you do. You really do.
But coming back from Melbourne, driving through the night, and being able to listen to the BBC commentary.
It's pretty good.
That's
kept
cool.
me awake.
It did. It kept me awake and kept me entertained. So I'll open these packs up. Here we go. Here's a guy who
I
can
can
hit the
tell you
ball.
where I was for the 5th test of the 1997 Ashes.
You were playing,
I
weren't
was
you?
playing,
Yeah,
mate.
yes. Okay, so every now and again Adam likes to drop those kind of lines. All right, so I've got a question here from Dean. Well, first Dean said blink twice, Adam, if you're being held hostage. Now, Dean's a bit
I've
of
got
a...
an escape word.
Yeah, Dean's a bit of a funny bugger. We don't like him. But Dean's other question was, you're an accomplished cricketer, boxer, and the first to pursue MMA, but more importantly, in your debut fight against Lee, did you get the blonde ring girl's phone number? What the hell? I should have read that.
I can't remember the blonde ring girl, but
I'll tell you one thing, he would have tried.
I would. I think is it maybe because of the way the fight went that I didn't remember.
So that was your first fight, was against a guy named Lee?
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, Lee Blacker. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, how good's that?
That's incredible.
Dean.
Dean's done his research.
And you thought being at Grafton was something a bit weird, that I knew that.
Yeah.
What have we got here? Club heroes. Hayden Kerr, do you know Hayden Kerr?
Yeah, I do know. I coach Hayden Kerr. He's a good player. He came up to Queensland during Corona.
Cameron
so he's
Bancroft.
training with the Bulls. Yeah, Cameron Bancroft's a good player.
Training with the Bulls.
Yeah, he came up because he wasn't getting a game with New South Wales, so he came to Queensland during Corona to have a bit of a hit out with us. And
Oh, really?
Kane did really well for the Gold Coast Dolphins, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
went back and dominated the BBL.
Wicked Wizards. Amanda Jade Wellington. Now I'll give you some information on Amanda Jade Wellington. She is a big collector of Pokemon cards.
Is that right?
Yep, and Adam Zampa. What's it about Adam Zampa and his one-day bowling? Because
I think they're put off by that mullet, aren't they?
Because he does a good job, doesn't he?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I think there's some ridiculous statistic where at the top, in the top 10 bowlers in the world in T20,
Yep.
7 of them are spinners. So it's that style of bowling where they bowl quick, fast leg spinners and bowl just short of the length at sort of around waist height. So they're not quite sure whether to pull it and
It's just
it's
hard.
very hard because it's amazing. I played the first ever game of T20, professional game of T20. I'm sure people have been playing it in club cricket, but we thought spinners were just going to get whacked out the
Well,
ground.
everybody said that at the start, didn't they?
Yeah, so
Sean Abbott,
yeah, good Surrey player.
another Surrey
Surrey
player.
player, yeah.
So Sean Abbott and Jake Fraser McGurk.
Well, he was actually I coaching the Queensland under 17s when he was the captain of Victoria under 17s, and thought, geez, this kid's a good player. And then about 6 months later, he was playing for Victoria.
Yeah,
so,
scoring centuries too.
Yeah,
So hopefully he does come on. What else have we got in here? We've got a Blasters here. Another one of your boys.
Jimmy Pearson.
Jimmy Pearson, yep.
Yeah, he's a wonderful player. Hardest worker in cricket, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, very hard working guy.
And who's that?
Oliver Davies.
Oliver Davies for the
I'm not
Thunder.
aware of him.
Well, look, that's a question I've got, I guess, with T20, because obviously there's not that many international players that come to Australia anymore. Is it a good thing that it gives these Oliver Davies and players that we may not have heard of a chance?
Well, I mean, they're not giving people a chance. If you get a game for any BBL team, you're a world-class player. So I don't think anyone's just giving them a chance. It's just
I guess I mean getting an opportunity that they may not have gotten otherwise, because we've got our test players don't play in the T20.
Yeah. There's more
teams, so there are more people getting an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Talk about kids that can play. Cam Green.
Cam Green, he's an incredible talent. Actually, he's probably one of the most talented cricketers I've ever seen. That's a huge statement. But I actually got played in one of Jack Callis's first ever games. And after the game, one of the players asked me, "What did you think of Jack Callis?" I said, "Yeah, he's all right. Nothing special." he went on to be a bit more than that. He's the most successful cricketer that's ever played.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
But I saw Cam Green playing. He played a couple of innings for us for WA against Queensland a few years in the Sheffield Shield.
Yeah, is that where he scored a ton in each innings?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Tally was an incredible player back then.
We got that's for Dominic Taylor Valemic, from the Hurricanes, and then Chloe Paparo. With women's cricket, do you keep an eye on that at all, or a passing interest?
Not really. Not because I've got anything against women's cricket. It's just that
everything else takes up the time.
I've got so much to do. Like I work here at the card shop, and then I obviously I'm a single dad with 3 kids.
Yep.
Coach the Queensland Bulls batsmen, train some fighters, and do a bit of consultancy work. So I have to be quite selective with the time I spend watching sport. So
you still enjoy cricket?
I love it. Yeah. It's have time to watch it.
Yep.
If I had to choose, I'll probably choose to watch Test cricket first. But nice. I don't mind the T20 either.
Wicked Wizard, Samantha Bates. I don't know who she is, but she plays for the Thunder. Test cricket, it's the GOAT, isn't it? It's the one.
It's the one that we grew up on, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's the one that it's the backbone of cricket. It's the ultimate. I mean, the Test is called
because that's what it is.
So all aspects of the game are challenged: mental, physical, and it's just yeah. Oh, here's one of our boys.
Where?
Well, Joe Burns.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Joe Burns.
Joe Burns.
One of the guys who comes down here to.
He does. We
comes
see.
down to Media 8. So,
Well, we've got a Matt Shaw, season to remember.
Yeah.
And then we've got Marcus Harris.
Yeah, good year.
Good year in county cricket, I hear.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's got him back into the Australian squad.
Yeah, where do you just flick past that Joe Burns?
I did flick past Joe Burns. I'll get Joe Burns out. He's a base card, that one of Joe, but we'll get there. Because I was about to show. So there's Joe. So we do know Joe well here.
Yeah. He comes in regular.
Cracking fella too, isn't he?
Yeah, good guy.
Good guy. But one
From
of the
a card perspective, it's not that exciting. Is that
No,
what
but no. I'm going to get this one out.
Oh.
This one.
you're showing off now.
I know, now we are showing off. So there is so one of the prizes that Adam has gotten for us here today for the break is a Joe Burns signed card too. So basically, if you're in the break, you will get something, assigned something, whether it be a Joe Burns card, an Adam Hollioake card, something will come into your package, and that's one of the ones there.
I will say the Adam Hollioake market card has gone up. That the price of that card has gone up dramatically since I started working here.
Yeah, you know why? Because we bought them.
I know. I think it was like $1.20 for the card before I started working here, and then they asked me if I had a card. I said I don't think so. And then they looked it up, they found one, and there was one guy in England was selling them, and I think everyone in the office bought one.
We
so
did.
He must have been thinking, geez, the market's picked up.
Well, there's Jess Johannesson for the Aussie women, which is Dave again, one of the very good cricketers, and then Josh Hazlewood. Now there's a good bowler, isn't there?
Tremendous bowler.
Just does his job.
Amazing.
Over and over. Yeah, what happened? It was actually a card shop in Melbourne called Card Zone. So anyone that's listening to this will know of Card Zone. And he had 4 cards on there. I bought 2. Chris bought 2, and then he magically went from $1.20 up to $6.
Is that right?
So he must have thought something was happening. He didn't know what was going on. So he thought, I'm going to cash in on the Hollioake trade.
The Hollioake market was hot.
It was hot that day.
Driven solely by my friends.
Oh, we got an authentic card. Kim Garth of the Stars. Now, I can't remember who's got the Stars. I think it's Stephen. So this is a numbered card, Adam. So I'll show you in a sec. We've got Gurinder Sandhu.
Well, he's
Another Queenslander, but he's plies his trade in the T20.
Yeah.
So on the back of this card, it will be numbered. Oh, number 4.
Of 250.
251. I know, interesting numbers, eh?
Why 251?
No idea.
Come on, mate, you're meant to know everything
There it
about
is.
cards.
No, we don't know everything about cards. We just know that they do some weird, random stuff. So well done, Steve, getting the first hit of the break. Is Kane Richardson playing up in there too?
Yeah, he has, yeah. He's made the move over to the Bulls.
Another wicket takers, Mark Steckety.
Very fast bowler, good guy too. Lovely guy, loves his pig hunting.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Heat. And Marnus. There's another one of your boys.
Bowling leg spin. Why would you do that? You'd have him batting, wouldn't he?
Surely.
Surely he's number
For
1
the-
batsman in the world for a while there, and they've got
Yeah.
him bowling his horrible leggies.
They're not horrible leggies. Just ask him.
Well, look at that action. That's not the most flattering. Surely.
No, there
They've
should
got
be
to
something
find
better
a
than that.
A better picture. All the beautiful cricket shot he's played that we've got.
We've got, yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know if you remember as a kid growing up in Victoria, the footy cards that they used to have.
Oh.
Some of those pictures weren't very flattering.
But wasn't it? You buy chewing gum, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Ty,
Yeah.
another very consistent bowler, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And Ashton Turner,
Yeah, brother of.
brother of who? Ashton Agar.
Yeah.
What's that name?
Yeah.
We've got to get through these because you're going to pick up your kids from school.
They'll be waiting around a while, I think. Can we help?
Yeah, let's get a few up. Okay, so Stan Stanley, Adam, I lived in Scotland for a few years, and the claim they invented T20 cricket so they could get a game in.
Is there what?
So they could get a
We've
game
got
in with
enough-
the
Is
weather.
that the second Gurinder Sandhu?
Yeah, that's a base card. People don't care. For this one we've got the Harmanpreet Kaur. She's the Indian captain.
Is she?
Yeah. So she plays for the
Oh,
Renegades.
there we go. There's a better Marnus.
Manus is back on track.
There we go.
There we go.
That's what we want to see. Something hitting him.
Yep. Okay. So just put in front of the camera.
So here we've got Darcy Short. We've got Pat Cummins, the Australian captain. That's a good one, isn't it?
Pat Perfect.
Pat Perfect. And then
Pat Cummins.
we've got 2 Pat Cummins, but this one's
A
this is
wicked
better.
wizard.
Oh, we've got another Pat Cummins. What are the chances?
That's 3 Pat Cummins.
3
And that means
Pat Cummins
that's
in.
Dean. Dean, who asked you about the league.
Yeah.
That's his team. Is
And then
those.
another Cam Green.
Another
the
Cam
base
Green.
guy.
So just those 2 middle ones we
Oh,
need to.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
yeah.
that. Yeah, actually, you open up the packs and then I'll
He'll
sort it
sort
out.
Okay.
Now, Richo's one of the biggest cricket fans
In the world.
that I know. He loves his cricket.
Yeah.
And Richo had a question for you, and that was out of the Australia, because you played quite a few games against Australia.
Yeah, I seem to play all of it.
Yeah. Who was the? Just need to go in front of the
This
camera.
is Usman Khawaja,
Another one of your boys.
another one of my boys.
Um,
And then that's the shiny Beth Mooney.
there you go. That's all we had in that pack.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll just move this camera over so you can do it in
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
Who was the fastest bowler of the Australian players?
Oh, that's an easy one. Brett Lee.
You played against Brett Lee.
Yeah. So we was Marcus Harris. We've got another Mark Steckety, and here's the hero one. We've got Andrew Ty.
Andrew Ty. Now that one could be the special one. It is too. Richo's going to be happy. So one of these in every box is a numbered Club Hero card.
6 of 70.
6 of 70. So a nice low one there for Richo. So we're talking about Richo's question, and there is Richo's card.
Yeah.
Was he hard to play?
Well, he was on New Year's Day. We played him on New Year's Day. We had the Prime Minister, no, wasn't the Don Bradman 11 versus
yeah.
England. They used to have every day on
Down at Barrel.
down at Barrel, and we said we were out with the guys on New Year's Eve, the Aussie boys, the night before.
Yep.
We asked them, I said, "What's this Brett Lee?" Because we knew Shane Lee at the time.
Yep.
No one had heard of Brett Lee, and they said, "What's this Brett Lee like?" And the Aussie boys were like, "Fastest bowler in the world."
Yeah.
We were like, "Of course he is, mate." Yeah, we thought they were winding us up. Anyway, we had plenty to drink that night, and found out the next day we were all very hungover. We got
Ellie Falconer from the Renegades.
yeah, and then a
David Warner.
shiny David Warner.
That's the technical term. And so did he rip through you guys?
Well, no, he didn't. But we were very hungover, and we're sitting there on this park bench, kind of set up, not a traditional kind of ground there, and beautiful ground, beautiful ground, but not your sort of typical stadium. And then he came into bowl. Thought, geez, he's off a long run up, and the keeper's standing a long way back. We were, I think, 11 hungover guys. All of us became. It's amazing how quickly you can become sober when someone's bowling at 160 kilometres an hour.
Yep.
And he was fast then. I think he was actually faster before he played for Australia, and then I think
Because he had a few injuries, didn't
he
he?
got a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was super fast.
I remember seeing him play.
Here we go. Got a Ben
So
Duckett,
that's
one
Ben
of my
Duckett.
boys. I coached him for England Lions out here in.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, so I was coaching England Lions, and he's a.
Hits a big ball.
He hits a very good player of spin. Very good player of spin.
So Ben Duckett for the Brisbane Heat.
And then we got Riley Meredith, who's a very fast bowler from the Hurricanes.
Yep, and we had so the Hurricanes' Dom gets that one,
And then a basic Steve Smith. We've got to make a mention of him. One of the best batsmen to ever play the game. What's this one?
that's a checklist. Just
What's that mean?
It means nothing, to be honest.
No good?
No.
No good.
Yeah, I saw him play as a 16 or 17 year old for a New South Wales under 18s team that came up and played Queensland.
Steve Smith?
No, Brett Lee.
Oh, okay.
And it was all on the basis of.
Sorry, mate.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Little Maxi Bryant, yeah. And then we've got the big
David
Dave Warner
Warner.
blaster. What do we do?
One of the good ones.
What's that?
Again, that one's for Dean, who has the Aussie men.
Yeah, and then a Kim
Kim
Garth.
Garth. We've had a few Kim Garths.
Yeah, they like her, don't they?
They do. She has an autograph card in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, we went just on the basis that, Shane Lee's brother's playing. And that
Yeah.
was as simple as that.
Not realising what you were going to witness.
No, and he was like 16, as you said, he basically came from the boundary and ran in
Yeah,
and bowled thunderbolts.
yeah. It's the excitement that goes around. Well, here we go. We've got an illustrious.
Who's that? Sophie Molyneux.
Yeah.
So one of the Australian, I think she's a leg spinner as well. Everyone's a spinner.
And then another shiny Mark Steckety. So he's
That's
popular
excellent.
today.
So we've got one for the Renegades, and the Renegades is Craig Everest. Yeah, it does. Does it spread like wildfire? Say in county cricket.
It went bloody spread quickly that day when the people were sleeping in the changing room. It was
Oh, of
like,
course.
get out here and watch this. You might have to go and face it. It spread very quickly.
Or David Lloyd.
Yes.
Did you
Well, he was our coach.
He was your coach then?
But in that tour, he was our coach. So incredible, really, when you think.
I love listening to his story about facing Tomo.
Yeah.
You know, and
is
he as big a character as when he comes across?
Oh, absolutely. He's well, here we go. We got here.
The Aussie women.
Ashley Gardner.
Gardner. So that's for Dave Ritger.
And then Rachel Haynes.
Rachel Haynes. Got a lot of women's cards on these.
It seems to be.
Rachel Haynes is just retired.
Yeah. But team meetings were usually most cricketers hate team meetings. They find them boring, but with Bumble it was.
And so did everyone call him Bumble then too? So that wasn't.
Yeah, he's been called Bumble for. I think he's been called that since he was a player. So.
Oh really? I wasn't sure if it was a commentary thing.
No. So he's been. As we got here, we've got. Oh, this is the
greatest female player.
Elise Perry, the greatest female player of all time, just about Australian, isn't she?
She'd have to be close.
Alyssa Healy, she's another one. Well, they're best mates, though. So.
That's the partnership.
Yeah, that's their.
Perry bowled. Healy bowled Perry.
Yeah, I played in a game probably 15 years ago, an old game, and they both played in that, and they held their own in I know it was only a Masters game, and we were all a bit old, but they were outstanding. I had a new appreciation for female cricket after that, because she bowled pretty quick too.
Yeah, she's taken a lot of test wickets. Scored a test double 100 against the English.
That's right. Incredible.
From memory, she...
and she played football as well for Australia.
She played football for Australia as well, so she's represented the World Cup.
So here we go, we've got another, there you go, she's popped up again.
Place.
Xavier Bartlett, another
Gold Coast boy. Yeah, I umpired him when he was about 15.
And then we've got
Jess
Johnson.
She's a good player, Jess Johnson. She's the captain of the Brisbane Heat.
Yeah, she's wonderful, there you go.
Nice person too.
They're all nice kids. The girls up there, they're nice.
When we were up at the Shield.
Polite and very respectful.
Yeah, we were up at the Shield watching when Joe...
Not like the men, not like the Bulls.
Not especially the English ones.
Sam Hazlitt, one of my boys up there.
Another one who hits a big ball.
Who we got here? We've got Holly Strand.
I was watching her yesterday.
And then Mitch Swepson, there we go. Wow. He's a good player. I coached the Queensland Seconds. We took him down to, made him captain of the Queensland Seconds in the game. He was trying to get a few overs under his belt, and really good understanding of the game, and wonderful bloke really. So hopefully he goes on and has
well in Sri Lanka. Was it Sri Lanka or Pakistan he played Test cricket?
It's just a good. He's like you can tell by his run up that he's modelled it on Warning. Yeah. So, but a great guy as well.
For someone of his age, I mean it's obvious you're going to model it on.
Who else would you model yourself on? And so who we got here? We got Aaron Finch, Australian one day.
Apparently, I've been told he's a good bloke.
Ripper bloke.
Yeah.
Another Surrey boy.
Another Surrey boy.
Another Surrey
boy. I would
boy.
never bag him out. You know that, don't you?
Well, who would? Why are you saying?
I'd never bag him out.
Because he came under a bit of pressure at the end of his... Yeah, so...
I might have said something on a different podcast we were on, and Adam took the piss out of me telling me he told Aaron Finch.
So. I did. Yeah. I told him that you bagging him out, and he said, mate, you had to get in line because there was a million other people who were saying he's a good bloke. Yeah. Another Aaron Finch, you get 2 in 1 pack with this.
Well, you've got to be happy with those 2 Finches.
Yeah.
Which one was that for? Was that for the Renegades? For the Royals? So the Renegades still play together, it hasn't changed.
I'm embarrassed by how easy these things are to open
after the first one.
The initial one, I was like, back myself to be an athlete, can't even open a pack of cards.
It's like that debut test match. Would have been a bit of pressure then, and then after that it became easy.
I don't know about that. Yeah, exactly. Scott Boland there. And then we got another Maxi Bryant.
Maxi Bryant. How'd you find out you were making your test debut?
Well, they kind of that wasn't so much of a surprise because I made my I got called up for the one day series earlier in the year. I didn't even know that there was when that series was, and I got a phone call.
Yeah.
Just got left on there, and then I can't remember how we got told about the test match, but might have read it in the newspaper, or I think Dave Graveney might have rung. I can't remember that one. I definitely remember the phone call on my phone telling me I'd been picked to play for England, which was amazing. Like, because at that stage I wasn't even thinking, wasn't on the radar, and then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was just speechless. So
turn up and get your cap, and
yeah, that's it.
Did they present caps in those days?
Nah, that wasn't a thing until Steve Waugh invented that, didn't he?
I think so.
I think it was
if he didn't, people would give him credit for it anyway.
We did get presented our cap on the test match.
Yep.
That was Mike Atherton. Thankfully, there's pictures of that around. Another James Baisley, another Queensland boy.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. We've got a breakout. Who we got? Ali Feltner.
That's Craig Everest again. That's only one of those.
And a Josh Philippi.
He can hit.
Yeah, I played with his dad actually.
Really?
His dad was a good club cricketer in Perth. Steve Philippi.
Yep.
So yeah, we played together when I was to come out and play club cricket during the off season. So.
Yep. Have you seen anything of this new sensation over there, that Teague Wiley?
Yes, a lot. So I've heard a lot. I've been hearing about him since.
This is the same kind of Brett Lee rumours, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but I've been hearing stuff about it since this kid was 13 or 14. So I've been hearing this kid's a freak, and apparently he is. So a similar sort of feeling around to when Ricky Ponting. Remember that?
Yeah.
The rumours coming out of.
Yeah.
So he was he sounds like, from everything, I respect people. I grew up in Perth a little bit, you know, and I played a lot of club cricket there, and the people that are saying the things about him, they know their stuff, so he can play.
Excellent.
Jack Wildermuth is another Brisbane boy, and who we got? We've got an Andrew Ty and a Darcy Brown.
Darcy Brown. He scored a century, youngest person since Ricky Ponting to score a century in first class cricket in Australia.
Yeah.
And did you see his quote after the game?
Yeah, he wasn't happy, was he?
Yeah, and he said, they said, why didn't you celebrate more? And he said, well, you don't cheer an accountant for putting in a tax return.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that.
That's a mental strength there.
That is. That's.
Well, here we go. We've got a good one here. The Hobart Hurricanes.
It's a Joel Paris.
It's an Emerald Mojo. So if we turn that one over, there'll only be 30 of these cards produced.
7 of 30.
7 of 30. So that's going to Dom.
So Joel Paris here bowled us out last year down in Tassie. Don't like him.
Don't like him. Fair enough.
And Phoebe. But I think I guess it sounds like Joel is the pick of the card there.
Joel is definitely Dom. Dom gets that. Dom is the biggest Polish supporter of cricket.
He's the biggest what?
Polish supporter.
Polish?
He's from Poland.
He's not. Hasn't got many people to compete against.
Well, probably.
How many people in Poland support cricket?
I don't know.
You don't have that.
I don't have that
statistic.
Let's just make it up. 7.
7.
7 people.
So
but Dom's number 1.
Good on you, Dom.
He's a cracking bloke, Dom.
So who we got here?
Would you have another question?
Got a Caleb Jewell, Chris Green. He's good. Here we go. Got an Adam Zampa, wicket wizard.
Oh, there we go. That's for the Aussie.
And then a Peter Siddle. With blonde hair.
That's his new thing, isn't it?
That's his new thing, yeah. Marcus Stoinis, yeah. Another good set. Only got 2 more packs.
2 more packs, and then we've got another box.
Oh, another box, are we?
We're going to have to fly through this now.
Alright, we'll start pick up the pace. What have we got here? We've got the goat. Straight in there. And who's this? This is a...
Colin Munro. Is he English?
He is. He's an Englishman. And then a Steve Smith.
Oh, there we
Shiny
go.
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
There you go, mate.
That's cool. One more pack here.
One more there.
Here we go. Let's get something and I'll open up the next box. Who did you enjoy playing with in England? I know this should be an illustrious. There it is.
Yeah, it's an illustrious. Group card checklist. What's that mean?
It's just that if you turn it over, it'll have the 8 players that are in
order.
In that set, yeah. So
Darcy Brown, Michael Neser. There it is.
So that's a checklist. We'll give that to someone who hasn't hit too much. Pass that around because it doesn't have too much.
Nick Larkin. There we go.
There we go.
Right.
Oh, I've not got the camera. Oh no, that's right. We moved the camera. Yeah, we put them over there so it makes it easier.
Yeah.
So there's a guy named Chris who's put a question. He's asked if it's cold on the Gold Coast today.
Well, funnily enough, it is in this office. There's a little bit of aircon, and they're keeping us nice and cool.
That's it.
So I'm not sure why Chris is asking that, but I'm sure he's got his reasons. That wouldn't be Chris Bilston by any chance, would it? Yeah, it's a funny old world. And then an illustrious Beth Mooney. And a Mark Steckety. There's been a couple of him.
Yeah.
He's popular.
He's a popular dude.
Popular guy.
So Mixed Hints has a question.
Yeah.
I like this question. My question is for Adam. He has had a very distinguished cricket career through cricket, boxing, martial arts. How high in his CV does he rate the beach cricket win versus Australia?
Oh, it's up there.
It's up there.
Well, I don't know about how highly. I can't remember much of it because we spent the whole thing drunk. It was sponsored by Forex.
Yeah.
Actually, when we got there, they said to us, There's only one thing we want to. We don't really care about the standard of cricket or anything like that. Well, we just want you to have sponsors' product in your hand at all times. So
You've gone very well.
we did well. I think we won on and off the field.
Yeah.
So,
Who we got there? Kim Garth again?
Kim Garth, and then we've got an Alex Carey. So there we go.
I went to that at Coolangatta.
Yeah.
There was a game at Coolangatta.
Can you remember it?
Yeah, I do actually. Gladstone Small was part of that, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
lovely guy.
Yeah, he was my coach in under, well, I think I was about 15.
Yeah, right.
And he came and coached us for a week
Did he?
when he was playing for South Australia.
Is that right? A good bloke.
Oh.
He's still plays a bit, you know.
Bit of Ashton.
Got to hear Ashton
He still
Agar.
plays.
Yeah, well, not professionally.
No, but he'd be well into his 50s now.
An Ashton Turner and an Ashton Agar. There you go,
Well,
the two
the
brothers.
brothers.
Well, I told you they put them together.
You did.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And then a Glennie Maxwell. I know it's not a big card, but you got to make mention of him. He's a legend.
You would have liked, and we were in groups of 10,
Yeah.
we all had a coach, and our coach was supposed to be Dean Jones, and we were all pretty excited, right?
Yeah.
Jonesy was the biggest thing at the time, and
Is that the beach cricket?
no, this is when I was a young fella.
Okay.
Just go down just a little bit. So
Sorry,
that's
mate.
it. Oh, because we've got
So
another,
we've got a breakout.
another one,
Who's
Stella
this?
Campbell.
Stella Campbell. That's number 16 of 18.
That's Damien Dowling. Yeah, we went to
Okay.
this cricket camp and
And then another
Jonesy.
Josh Philippi.
another one.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Jonesy was supposed to be our coach. He didn't show up.
Didn't show up.
No. So we got
Legend.
we got this guy named Gladstone Small. No one knew him. No one.
You don't forget him though, do you?
No.
Why don't you
Because
forget him?
everyone bagged him out.
Why is that?
Oh, there's maybe something about having
Neck.
and not having the longest neck of all time.
Ripper bloke.
And by the end of that week, you should have seen it, mate.
Everyone loved him.
Like, we were punching on for him
Yeah,
because you don't pick on our coach.
he's the best.
He was the best, and we really.
We've got Adam Zampa. We've got a wicket wizard here,
I think we had one of those before.
and a Peter Siddle. Another Peter Siddle.
Looks like we might be.
Doubling up.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he was a great bloke. That was in Ballarat. That was at the private school there.
Which one?
Oh,
St Pat's.
might have been. We had
Ballarat College.
We had Garfield Sobers was the
Did not.
the coach.
You did
I
not.
will bring it in tomorrow. I've got the certificate.
You're making up names now.
No. I've got the certificate that says Rob Verhoeven participated in the Garfield Sobers cricket camp.
You're making it up. Unless I see it. He's
I'll
the
bring
greatest
it.
cricketer of all time.
And you know what else? he
In
is?
Ballarat.
You know what else he is? The greatest storyteller of all
Is
time. He did nothing. We would go into this reading pit at the end of the day. There'd be like 100 kids in there, and he'd just sit up there and tell us stories about hitting 6 sixes in an over.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
Here
he
we
did
go.
no coaching.
So we've got a good one here. We've got Harpreet Cow. I'm not sure how you say that. And then a Marnus. Look at that.
Marnus.
There we go. There's one of him batting.
That's the shot.
That's the
isn't
one
it?
you're after.
All right.
There you go, mate.
So it's looking like they might have done it up on a few of these research.
So you get your money back for that, or not?
Oh, I'll tell you what, you're going to be cranky because you go into a break, you hope to get a few different ones.
Yeah.
But everyone wants an auto, so we're going to have to get an autograph out of these soon.
All right, here we go. We've got Jess Johansson,
So
Jess
this
Jonathan.
is a good one. Mick Sims is going to be very happy because if you turn that one over, that's got a number on the back.
And the number is number 8 of 32. What's the?
8 of 7. No, 8 of 70 just above.
Oh, okay. What's the? So what do you? What's better? If you got 1 of 70, would that
Yep,
that would
people
be
like
better?
the lower
The
numbers.
lower
better.
number. Okay,
But 8 of 70, that's good.
that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
And then we've got a Bo Webster. There you
Yeah.
go, mate.
Yeah, Garfield Sobers. It could have only been better.
I'm not going to believe it until I see it
Oh,
because he's such an icon.
Oh.
I actually do believe you, mate. But
I'll have to go and find-
I just want to see it.
Yeah,
Because
no, I want to go and find the certificate again now.
if you don't find it, you know I'm not.
Oh, it's not going to be good. It won't be good.
It won't be good. Here we go. We've got a Matt Short,
Yeah, we had him before. This is terrible.
and then we've got a Marcus Harris,
Yeah.
and then a checklist.
All right, let's fly through them.
There we go. There you go.
How far is it to get your kids?
Oh, they can wait.
Like what?
They, you know,
We got cricket. We're talking cricket.
you know, what it was like back in my day. I had to walk to school, 40-degree heat every day, uphill both ways.
Now you're sounding like something out of not faulty cows. What else got? Oh, here we
There
go.
you go, Sammy Hazlitt,
That's one of the green mojos. So that'll be a nice low numbered card.
number 15 of 30.
So that's from
Huge.
Nick. Nice.
That's a good card.
Good card.
And then we've got a Phoebe Litchfield. There you go, mate.
Nice. What's that English comedy people that I'm thinking of?
Holding Towers.
Yeah, but
Hale and Pace, the two Ronnies.
no, the Faulty Towers that he was part of.
Oh, Monty Python.
Monty Python, that's what you're going with there. 40 kilometres uphill.
Both wheels, both ways. What's that? Ali Faulkner and David Warner.
Cool. We need an autograph card. That's what we need.
What's that? What that means they've signed it?
Yeah, that means they've signed it.
They actually put them in there.
They put them in there.
Incredible. I haven't seen one of those. Never seen one of those.
We want to get one.
Will they get one in usually? Or are they pretty rare?
They're rare.
So we've got Riley Merritt. Here we go. We've got one of those already. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. What's this? Stuck away.
Oops, we'll get that one out. So, Richo has said welcome to Breaking, Adam.
Thanks. Am I looking like an amateur, Richo?
Well, Richo is...
He can tell.
He's one of the doyens of breaking in Australia cricket.
Is that right?
Yeah, he breaks on another channel.
Look at that dodgy Marnus picture again.
Yeah, it's dodgy as.
Dodgy.
Dodgy as. Dean's asked another question. Dean was an MMA question before, but he brought it on.
Well, I'll let him do that because he asked a good one last
time.
He
did ask a good one. And he's definitely leading the pack. I think for just research-wise, to get the Adam Hollioake signature card, I think he's leading.
He deserves it. So we've got a shiny Beth Mooney.
Cummins had a lot of backlash for being woke. Should players keep their political and ideological views to themselves and just play cricket? There's a question.
Well, you could say yes, but how boring would it be?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see it. Like, it creates a bit of topic of conversation, and why should if you've got a platform, use it.
Well, this is your platform now.
And I'm using it. Wow. The thing is, if you want to say it, I think you've got to know that you've got to prepare the backlash. At this stage in my life, I'm just after a peaceful life. I can't be bothered, and I don't really dislike anyone, so
makes it easy.
Makes it easy. Holly Strand, and then Mitch Swepson. There you go. It's a beauty.
So that's the action, isn't it? Marcus needs to get a bit of technique.
He needs to get a few tips off Mitch, doesn't he? And then we've got here. Who's that? James Baisley. And another Riley Meredith. Two of those. There we go, mate.
Thank you. So we'll just put these two up just for Richo.
With the two actions.
Richo, which action's best? So
I think they've got them at different points in the action. Poor Marnus, he's not pulling the best face there either, is he?
No.
A lot of effort goes into that leg spin.
And obviously players don't get the option of
picking their card
because otherwise we probably wouldn't have that picture, would we?
Look at that, that's like a male model. That's like something out of a boy band. Come on.
It looks like you're asleep.
Oh, that was my sexy face. That's my blue steel, that is.
I love it. I love it.
All right, here we go. Oh, an illustrious Michael Nisa.
Another one on the fringe of playing Test cricket, isn't he?
Nick Larkin. Let's have a look. What's the illustrious?
No, it's not a numbered one.
What's that? What's 12?
It's
his
I
birthday.
for illustrious and 2 of 9 because there's 9 cards in the set.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like the other ones.
All right.
There's a few Queenslanders on the knocking on the door.
Yeah.
What do they need to move to New South Wales to get a game?
Yeah, I think so, wouldn't you?
Richo, you hit something? What did Richo hit? That's yours, Richo?
Andrew Tye.
Andrew Tye, numbered card.
Okay, what have we got here? So we've got a Meg Lanning. There you go. And Rachel Haynes.
Again, yeah. Did we have Meg before?
Happier with my card opening now.
Yeah, you've definitely taken it up.
It's embarrassing. You wouldn't think these muscles were painted on, wouldn't you? Like, hang on.
We see them enough in the office.
So here we go. We got a Minion Dupree's.
I'm going to guess she's South African.
Yeah, I'll make you. Or Dutch. Or Dutch.
No, us Dutch. We just beat South Africa. That's all we do.
And then Chloe Piparo. Yeah. There you go.
So, Adam, I'm going to ask one last question, and it's a little unfair. This question I'm about to ask.
That's not going to stop you, is it?
No, it's not going to stop me. What's it like losing a game to a minnow?
I don't know, mate.
You do know.
What for?
Did you ever lose a game to Ireland?
Oh, but that was for Surrey.
Yeah, but you still lost. But Surrey
we did actually. For England, we did lose to Minnow when I was playing for England. I think we lost to Australia once.
Oh, you bugger.
No, yeah, it wasn't great losing to.
And what can you give a little bit of insight to what happened the night before the game?
Yeah, well, we got our coach at the time was a guy called Steve Rickson, and there was Jake Fraser McGurk there, and he was a very good coach, but a very strict coach. And he said the only way you'll lose to these guys is if you go out and party with them.
Yep.
So we're going to have a team meeting, then everyone's going to go back to the hotel and go to bed. So we had a team meal. Sorry, we went out and. Everyone sort of filed back into the hotel and out straight out the fire exit, straight out into out into the night on the town with the Irish boys, and they hand drink. We got back in at 8 in the morning and got beaten. So.
And did Steve know?
He did.
How did he know?
Because we were partying in the room beside him, which. So we got Alyssa Healy there.
There was another one just in front of
past it,
us. Yep.
Oh, there we go. We've got Beth Mooney.
She seems to have been popping up a few times. So, do not go out drinking.
With the Irish.
Yeah, but that was the coach's message.
Yeah.
And you did it in the room next to you.
Well, we didn't know at the time.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like they had a big sign on there, Steve Rickson's room. We just
Don't they?
The chances of it actually happening are pretty small. And a hotel was about 300 people.
Yeah, true.
So
Darcy Brown, Shiny. And there was one in front of Darcy. Andrew Ty.
And Andrew Ty. Yeah.
That's Richo's man. Yeah, you've got to be a bit unlucky there, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for Winston.
He wasn't happy, I can tell you that.
Well,
rightly so.
It's not the Surrey way, is it?
Blaster. There we go, Blaster, Beth Mooney. What's that? And then we've got an Oliver Davies.
He's back.
He's back.
I don't know who he is, but
no, he's Ollie, old Ollie.
Do you know what?
Old Ollie's back.
Ollie, interestingly, is the only player that we've opened a card off today that you didn't coach.
What about the chicks? I didn't coach any.
Oh yeah, but it's male players. We'll go with male players.
Only the ones who've done well. If they haven't done well, I just disown them. Yeah, I'm like that.
I've seen that actually in here.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going well, I'm on your team.
Colin
Monroe.
Through Colin already.
And Stevie Smith. That's a good one, isn't it?
It's a good shot, isn't it?
Well, it's a good card. It's shiny. One of the
Colin.
best players in the world.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it does. It's a good card. I remember sitting with you watching a Shield match when Queensland got bowled out for 100. I'll tell you what, you were the batting coach that day.
I wasn't, no. I was like, what are they doing up there?
Yeah. But they had a big win last week. Made the Victorians look silly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're going. It's a funny season there. They're either winning by an innings in the Shield or losing horribly in the one days. Maxi Bryant, there we go.
Because yesterday was their first one day win.
Yes. Shiny Maxi Bryant. I don't know, where's the other one?
What's your number one must-have player on tour and why? If you were to pick anyone to take on tour from
England, or the ones I toured with?
The ones you toured with. Let's go with that.
I'm going to go Mark Butcher, who's played 60 test matches for England. We grew up together at the age of 12, so he's my best mate, which helps.
Yep.
But he plays the guitar as well.
So you just good around the room.
How good's that? Have someone who plays guitar. You can pretend I used to play the bongos, which is on the desk. So
because you're really good
at it. Add to that. Add to the musical.
Richo thought it might be Atherton because you made more runs than him. Aren't you good mates with Athers as well?
Athers is a good mate of mine, yeah. He's a good guy.
So we'll tell him that Richo said that, eh?
Yeah, all right. Wicked Wizard. So we've got Amanda Jade Wellington and then Adam Zampa.
We got to get a nice numbered card here.
All right, I'm going to get you something. All right. Time for what?
Time to get that card out of the pack. Still going to actually say it, please. But the good news is that every single person in this break will get.
Here we go, Phoebe Litchfield.
All for the Thunder. Who is the Thunder? Peter Cotton has the Thunder. Peter Cotton from Adelaide.
And Kim Garth
from the Stars. Every single person in the break will get something extra that's assigned, something from Adam or Joe Burns, one of the two.
Yeah.
So expect an influx on eBay. Signed Hollioake cards.
Alright, what we got here?
Adam, I'm not talking about it. We've actually already talked about this.
Wicked Wizard, Georgia Wareham, and Ashton Agar. There he is again. And look, there's our friend Joe Burns.
Joe Burns.
There we go, mate.
Very much a friend of the local card shop, Joe Burns.
I actually found a new way of opening them, which is a bit less
stressful.
On the cards.
Oh, that's good.
So I thought the people they might like that. We've got Jess Johansson, or is it Jonathan?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
And Josh Hazelwood. Whew,
The man.
the man himself.
And what about on the Australia? Did you play a few tests on one days? Did you ever play a one-day series where you had a good series against the Aussies?
You leading? Actually, the first time we played the Aussies was '97. I think it was. Can't remember exactly, but we won that 3-0, and Pat Cummins. There we go, and Pat Cummins a doubled up. Yeah, we won that 3-0, and I didn't get out in that series. So man of the series, mate.
Man of the series, hit the winning runs as well.
Every game. Well, if you don't get out,
That's it. Well, you can bat first.
That's true.
But you're
not going to hit the winning runs back first, though, are you?
No. No.
You don't know it at the time, anyway.
That's true. That is true. Adam being very
facetious.
No, as a matter of fact, he's got it down pat. Who we got here, by the way? Oh my goodness. That's Smitri.
That's Smitri, that is.
Smitri
Mandana.
I'm going to guess.
And then Ruth Johnson. There we go.
That's Jess's sister.
Yep, Jessie. Jess's sister. Come on, I'm going to give you one here.
Yeah, we're going to give you
one. Who's up? Who gets this if I pull this good one?
Well, it depends on
Son of Steve.
Right, here we go.